Oh, Canada is up next. Let's talk to Jim and see what's cracking north of the border. Hey, Jim, thanks for the call. You are live.
Hey, Dr. Gleason, I've got two questions for you.
All right.
I wanted to ask the first one first, but anyway, my sister-in-law is diagnosed with monocytic leukemia.
Oh, yeah.
Whew. And like she gets about every 3 or 4 weeks she gets 2 or 3 pints of blood, and because she's very weak, then she gets very tired, and I don't know. That's about all they can do for her, I think.
Yeah, that is about all they can do for her, and that's a tough road to hoe. Historically, there were medical clinics in the world, well, I don't know the world, in the United States, that were treating leukemia with arsenic. Actually, therapeutic doses of arsenic, and they were having really great success. But then Big Pharma came along with chemotherapy, and once they started rolling out chemotherapy, all other avenues of cancer treatment and cancer research vanished. Now, I'm going to do an entire month-long expose of that this fall. I'm going to do an entire month-long expose on cancer this fall, so stay tuned. But, number one, we don't treat disease here, especially cancer, right? But she's up against it.
Yes.
From our point of view, what we need to do when somebody is struggling with this illness is support healthy bone marrow function. I think you had another question?
Yeah, that's for my wife. Now, my wife she had a couple of strokes, and she had a weak ankle. We took the healthy bone for that, but she had hemorrhoids, and sometimes they were bleeding. Now, one of your associates, they said too that we had to take selenium, which she is doing 3 times 3 a day, and it stopped for quite a long time. And would you believe yesterday it started to bleed again? Now, is this normal that it sometimes bleed, or because of the healing, or what is this?
No, it's not because of the healing. It's because the problem hasn't cleared up 100%. Right?
I see. Okay.
So it's kind of like when we get on board with an appropriate therapeutic, and I don't care if it's acupuncture, I don't care if it's homeopathy, I don't care if it's chiropractic, I don't care if it's medical nutrition or herbs, whatever it is, if it's appropriate and it's effective, and it's used for something that's a chronic, long-standing condition, the resolution from the problem is always like a roller coaster going downhill, right? You get a little bit better and a little bit better, and then you hit a bump, and then you get a little bit better, then you hit a bump, and then you get a little bit better and a little bit better like that. So as long as the bumps, the return of the old symptoms are less intense than they were in the past and they don't last as long, then we're doing all the right stuff. It's just a normal part of the healing process. There are little bumps along the way.
Yeah, because today was nothing. There was no bleeding at all today again, so... Yeah,
I would keep track of it, though, just for your own sanity, right? I would keep a little record on the calendar.
Right.
And, what you should be seeing is every month there should be less and less episodes of the bleeding, right?
Yeah, but she hasn't had any bleeding, I think, for at least the last 4 weeks or so. Anyway,
Yeah. So that's good. Now, there's one other thing you might want to just look to see, right? Because sometimes you can screw the program up. The operative thing to support and promote vascular health here, blood vessels, which is what we need to do when we're dealing with hemorrhoids, is copper.
Right.
The copper is in the selenium, and the copper is a mineral like selenium.
Mm-hmm.
If you take the copper supplement, if you swallow the selenium supplement that has copper in it, on top of a meal that had phytates in it, then the phytates will bind to the copper and not let them be absorbed into the bloodstream. So you want to do a little Google search for phytates, and let me spell that for you. It's P-H-Y, T like Thomas, A, T like Thomas, E, for foods that contain phytates. Now, foods that contain phytates are not going to hurt you like fried food will, but if you're taking a mineral supplement, you should take it away 2 hours minimum from the consumption of any food that's high in phytates. So look to see yesterday or whenever this happened, or 24 hours before it happened, if she was eating, a boatload of food that had phytates in it. I mean, you never know. In any event, that's the long and the short of it, man. I appreciate your work up in Canada. Keep it up, Jim. Your community depends on you more than you know. Stick around, folks. Virginia's up next with Terry.